Imagine the perfect video store. It would have a great selection, right? Right! Over 10,000 videos. 3 evening rentals, so no rush, no hassle. Fast checkout. 24-hour quick drop return. Open late every night. Well, the perfect video store
Welcome to Blockbuster Video.
is popping up all over the country. There's one near you.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
If you were a kid in the 90s and the early 2000s, then there's absolutely no way you missed Blockbuster growing up. While I was personally more of a Hollywood video guy, Blockbuster was still a huge part of many people's childhoods, as they were the two major powerhouses of the video rental store era. But to me, Hollywood videos seemed like they put more effort into their image and had a much better selection when it came to the movies and video games. Renting a movie was once a very different experience than it is today. Roaming through the aisles of a Hollywood video or Blockbuster was just a normal way of life. Even though the video stores is something many people still look back on, it's a human element that just no longer exists, and sadly it will never be the same again. Personally, I feel kinda sad for anyone not old enough to remember the video store experience and walking through the aisles discovering hot new releases or old releases from the past. There was just something different about walking into a video store and picking out a movie or a video game and getting your favorite snack before going home to celebrate your movie night. There was a particular feeling you would get about walking through the aisles and picking up and holding physical copies of movies and video games in your hands. And as a kid growing up in the 2000s, I would always look at the front and back cover art and read the copyright date. Blockbuster took over the world in the 90s and early 2000s, but its glory was short-lived. At the height of its peak, Blockbuster had over 9,000 stores. In 2000, Blockbuster made their first mistake, such as declining to acquire Netflix for $50 million when it was just a startup, and not expanding to streaming, costing the company its future and led the company to go bankrupt and close almost all its stores. And now in 2023, there is just one operational Blockbuster left in Bend, Oregon. Although streaming services provide more convenience and options, it's not the same experience as walking into a video store, and one of the challenges many people face nowadays is determining how many streaming services they should subscribe to and which service has the better content. Say you're a Disney fan and you want to watch those classic movies, but you also want to watch reruns of Malcolm in the Middle, but also catch new episodes of All American. That will require you to have to pay for Disney Plus, Hulu, and Netflix. And on top of that, a lot of times they won't even have the movies or shows you're looking for. The advantage of Blockbuster is that with DVDs and Blu-rays, and even video games, you could pick up your favorite Disney classic, a new movie, and your favorite sitcom at the same time in one place, and you don't have to worry about them getting rid of those titles.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get everybody's Christmas gift at the same place? Maybe you can. I'll let you in on a little secret. The Holiday Gift Center at Blockbuster. After all, everybody has a favorite movie. And who has more favorites than Blockbuster? Besides having more movies to rent, they also have more movies to give. Oh, plus they have all kinds of video games for the kids. So take care of everybody on your list. Make it a Blockbuster holiday.
If Blockbuster does return, how will the brick-and-mortar store model be able to successfully compete with streaming services in this day and age? The Blockbuster brand was bought by Dish Network out of bankruptcy back in 2011 for $320 million, and they haven't done much with the brand since then. It doesn't make sense why Dish even still wants a Blockbuster IP at this point. But does anyone but Dish even want the brand? The answer is yes. The only person in the world interested in buying it is Tai Lopez. Lopez has mentioned that he would buy the Blockbuster IP if it were up for sale at the right price. Obviously, Lopez hasn't succeeded in acquiring the brand from Dish yet. Were he to, Lopez has said that he would use it to create a streaming competitor to Netflix and other services. Once Blockbuster is purchased, everyone will go wild just by the fact that the name is back, but they would have to separate themselves from other streaming services, especially if they don't have any original content. It will only be a matter of time before people lose interest and Blockbuster will lose their value and head for the same downfall that ended them before. And I honestly wouldn't want them to go in that direction and become a streaming service, especially since Netflix and Disney Plus have been losing subscribers. It wouldn't be Blockbuster without the original stores, and Blockbuster has to remember what brought them to the game. There's been rumors that 5 new Blockbuster locations are planned to open this summer in Los Angeles and San Diego, but nothing has officially been confirmed, so I'll take this with a grain of salt. But in my opinion, this would be a great idea, as I believe opening no more than 5 locations creates scarcity and a small buzz in getting people to want physical media. But the Blockbuster stores will have to come with a few modern changes. The stores look dated in today's standards, but back in the 2000s, it felt more inviting when you walked in. The stores could still have DVDs and video games for rental, but also for sale. Other changes they could do to keep customers interested is create their own original movies by having Blockbuster exclusive movies and host premieres. Actors could come to the select store to promote the new film. This is a great marketing tactic to create buzz and get people engaged because streaming doesn't create movie stars, global theatrical hits do. With physical stores, Blockbuster can also expand by having vinyl records and CDs for sale, as vinyl records have been outselling CDs for the first time since 1987. This will be a great revenue as it would put Blockbuster in a new industry for selling physical media and bring more people to want to buy physical media. Blockbuster can also sell movie merchandise and allow customers to trade in DVDs, VHS, video games, and vinyls for cash, as this was something they weren't allowed to do back then. They could also focus on gaming by having Blockbuster exclusive games and sell retro games, something streaming can do. Blockbuster could also offer members rewards such as free movie tickets, pizza discounts, and free exclusive games, and start partnerships with AMC, GameStop, and Pizza Hut to compliment customers for their service. More people can then look at Blockbuster as an official business again, and they'll be able to afford to open more stores across the states. And it's important that Blockbuster doesn't make the same bad management decisions they made the first time, and pay close attention to trends and customer feedback. Blockbuster was also one of the more family-oriented video chains, so even throwing in an ice cream or popcorn bar and maybe a separate screen showing kids movies next to that could attract more customers. Blockbuster would also have to make the economy really affect streaming to the point where people want to rent movies again and kick Netflix's ass the same way Netflix kicked theirs. If you head over to the website now, you will see a message saying, "We are working on rewinding your movie." We need new ways to discover movies that are more accessible, so only time will tell if Blockbuster does come back into our lives.